Order. Question number 5, Metiria Turei.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker. Tēnā koutou te whare. My question is to the Prime Minister and asks, katoa ia, I runga I te mana o ana kaupapa here, Kāwanatanga katoa ne.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, yes.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Metiria Turei.
Does the Prime Minister stand by his housing policies now that 85% of Aucklanders think there's a housing crisis and more than half of Auckland homeowners think house prices need to come down?
The Right Honourable
Speaker.
Prime Minister.
Yes.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Metiria Turei.
Does he stand by his housing policies that have seen households who have to spend more than 30% of their income on housing go from just 1 in 10 a generation ago to almost 1 in 3 today?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, yes.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Metiria Turei.
How long does he think his policies can be effective when this government has seen wage rises at something like 1%, 1.5% a year, while the median Auckland house prices are going up at over 12% a year? How long can that continue?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, a member constantly demonstrates she doesn't really understand what's happening. If she did, she would see that wages have gone up 25% in New Zealand, and as I noted earlier to the House, interest rates have halved under this government. For someone borrowing $300,000 a year, $300,000 for their mortgage, they're paying $16,000 a year less than they were. Probably in pre-tax terms, it's in the order of about $22,000 per year.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Metiria Turei.
Surely the Prime Minister is not trying to take credit for low interest rates when they are happening all over the world because of weak real economic growth, both here and overseas.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, one of the reasons why interest rates are coming down in this country is because the government has done a good job of getting the books back in order, of managing inflation expectations. It wasn't so long ago that her co-leader wanted to get the printing presses out in New Zealand and start printing money. That would have been having interesting economic implications, as would her desire to see the poorest New Zealanders see all of their equity evaporate in housing when she takes all of that off them. And I will be reminding New Zealanders of that in the months to come.
Supplementary.
Order. Supplementary question, Metiria Turei.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. How many poor people on 60% or less of the median household income are buying million-dollar homes in Auckland?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, I suspect very few, and they probably haven't for the last 30 or 40 years. The reality, though, is that for very low-income New Zealanders, there is assistance from the government. The KiwiSaver Home Start, for instance, has both income caps and other caps, and we're seeing around the country quite a lot of New Zealanders, in fact, very low-income New Zealanders accessing that. The government's also providing additional support for them with income-related rents into social houses, something we've never seen before. This government, as we know, was the first government in decades to raise benefits in this country. We spent over $10 billion actually providing support to very low and low-income New Zealanders in a vast variety of ways. I think the member gets up as if the government isn't out there supporting the most at-risk New Zealanders. In fact, we are every single day.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Metiria Turei.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Will the Prime Minister accompany me to the Park Up for Homes in Parnell tomorrow night to talk directly to homeless people about his plans to ensure that they are homed in the future? And if not, why not?
Mr Speaker,
the Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Members shouldn't take it personally, but I don't want to accompany her anywhere, and if she wants to know why, because I really don't want to hang with her.
Point of order. Point of order.
Order.
He doesn't want to talk to poor people, is what he's saying.
Order.
So.
Order.
He doesn't want to talk to poor people.
Supplementary question.
Point of order, sir.
Point of order. Metiria Turei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, I seek leave to table the UMR Research Housing Poll results as yet unpublished and provided to me on 22nd August 2016.
On the basis that I'm assured it's unpublished and not therefore available to members, I will put the leave. Leave is sought to table that particular UMR poll. Is there any objection to it being tabled? There is none that can be tabled. Question number 6.